Alright, hello everybody. Today I'm just going to be talking about my Defiance Support Paladin that I made for Season 9. His name was Command. So I'm just going to go over an introduction of the character, then I'll talk about the skill tree and talent tree, the gear breakdown, as well as the breakpoints for the Paladin and the Mercenary, and then I'll finish up with possible upgrades for Season 10 and onwards, and alternative gearing options for the Mercenary when you're group mapping. So start with the introduction. The objective of the character was to have a character that would be focused on group mapping exclusively. I got this character 98.3 essentially. I never finished the 99 grind in Season 9 because I think I just had burnout essentially, but pretty easily could have gotten this to 99. The objective is to have also off-meta auras, so we're focusing on Defiance as the primary aura for the build. And there's also other auras that he provides. So let's just go over it. It kind of goes along with the gearing section, but I'll revisit that anyways. So the Merc, as you can see, is giving Might from Tyraels, from Templars, excuse me, Salvation from Zenith, and the base aura is Blessed Aim, which provides Deadly Strike and high attack rating bonus. The reason I went with Blessed Aim is because it's an off-meta aura that most people don't have, and it contributes well to the group. The Paladin himself is using Defiance as his main aura, and then he uses a Plague Salvation and also a Spirit from Heart of the Wolverine, from the Wisp. Let me think here. All right, so he also provides healing to the group, which is, pretty obvious with Holy Light and Holy Nova as well. Holy Nova being the primary one for AoE healing. And he's a frontliner, so basically he's going to be jousting in and just, grouping everything up for everyone, and then Holy Bolting primarily, or Fist of the Heavens. It's a Fist of the Heavens Paladin at the end of the day, but instead of focusing on Conviction, where you're focusing on Defiance to keep our group alive. So let's go over the skills and talent tree so I can kind of tie this all together. So in the combat skills tree, we're going with most of the synergies basically for Fist of the Heavens. So we have Holy Nova, Fist of the Heavens, Holy Light, and Holy Bolt. 1 point wonders with Joust, 1 point Holy Shield, and then for offensive auras we have nothing, and defensive auras we are maxing Defiance. Now, Defiance also works well with Holy Shield, obviously, for defense. So we are highly defense scaling on this character. Let me go to show you exactly what we're working with here. So fully buffed up, self-buffed, we're at 28.5k defense, with 75 block, obviously, as a Paladin. And to give you an idea just of how much defense is providing, and this is with a Barb shout as well, we're at 578% defense bonus with 27% physical damage reduction. Now, something that a lot of people don't know about Defiance is that if you look at the advanced stat page, it also provides you with 27 flat damage reduction, which is quite powerful actually. That combined with maximum damage reduction provides insane survivability. I've asked group members constantly when playing this Paladin what kind of numbers they were getting up to in the defense brackets, and I've seen people breaking around 60,000 defense with this build, which is basically a cap essentially. It puts you down to around 5% chance of being hit. So, and then obviously we're just going into 1 point redemption and 1 point prayer, 1 point vigor. So that's the skill breakdown. Let's go over gear real quick. So I'll start with the Merc. Zenith is a new aura for Diablo to PD2. It basically gives you salvation. So we're looking to overcap our resistances. This character, with salvation on, sorry, that's the Merc, excuse me. is decently overcapped, not to the exact level that I'd like it, but that can be optimized through a bit different gearing selection, whether it's, you know, all res charms, etc., etc. This guy was not completely min-maxed, but he is, I would say, at a 95 percentile of where I want the character to be. So we're trying to be overcapped through conviction. That's the primary goal. Other pieces of key gear: Templar's Might. You'd like to ideally get a level 8 Might aura. This was my second character of the ladders, so I didn't exactly min-max him, like I said, to 100%, but level 8 Might Templars is what you want to aim for. I went with Shadow Dancers. I'll talk about more of that with the breakpoints. Nosferatu's, Laying of Hands, Vampire Gaze. This got buffed as well in S10, so Vamp Gaze even better now for the build. Highly would recommend going for that. Nosferatu's Coil, that's as well for a breakpoint for the 20% attack speed. The slow is extremely good. Good source of life leech. I was really happy with this setup. I don't think I would really change anything else. And the reason I'm using you might say, oh, why Shadow Dancers? Curse resistance is an incredibly good stat that scales with Templar's Might curse resistance as well. So you have 30% curse resistance between these two items as well. 30% hit recovery, which is actually pretty important for mercs. A lot of people undervalue hit recovery on mercs. It allows them to constantly stay active. They have pretty bad hit recovery frames, just, you know, baseline, they get knocked and they're not attacking for a few seconds. In 8-player maps, that can lead to death pretty quickly if they're not leeching all the time. So we look at the leech on the merc, he's got 12 life leech right now. So I mean, that's in combination, and that would even be higher with the new buffs to Vamp Gaze, I believe, that got buffed as well. So yeah, you'd have probably more life leech in S10 as well. Looking at the Paladin's gear, okay, so this is where it really comes down to, how do we get a level 55 Defiance? Well, the Paladin has access to a lot of plus skills, and this can actually go up to 57 currently with S10. So the two pieces of gear which mainly need big upgrades in terms of S10 would be Crown of Ages with a +1 skill slam, and Seraph's Hymn with a +2 skill Desecrate plus Corruption slam. So this would give you a +6 to defensive auras on a single amulet, which is incredible. So the whole goal here is to just stack as many plus defensive aura skills as possible. So obviously we have full defensive aura skillers, top to bottom, +2 Annie, Torch, and then fill in your resistances, fill in your other breakpoints, whatever you need in small charms. For weapon, I chose to go with Plague. I'm a huge fan of this weapon, especially on this build. Cleansing Aura is massive, +2 to all skills. You get a good base. What you're looking for in the base mainly is just +3 Defiance Aura. I had to shop this from, I believe, Act 2 or Act 1. I think it was Act 1, Akara. Ideally look for, like I said, +3 Defiance. An additional skill which you could get onto it, which would be really good, would be Holy Bolt. Holy Light is fine, but not ideal. Holy Nova, that sort of thing. Crown of Ages, I went with this over a plus skill helmet because it really fulfilled a lot of the defensive properties I was looking for. I was combining this with Occultist for 75% curse duration reduction. When combined with Plague, curses fall off you basically instantly in this setup. And the PDR is what I needed to also get capped, so it's kind of all worked together in a nice little package. This is the only plus skill helmet or plus skill item that is not exclusively plus skills in the build outside of Occultist because of the curse reduction setup. You could alternatively go for a more greedy setup, but since you're trying to provide defense to the build and not die, I mean, this felt like the best option. I already highlighted this before, but obviously here at Seraph's Hymn for the +6. And then we're using 2-set Griswolds. This 2-set is very powerful together, specifically the chest and the shield because of the set bonuses. So we're getting +1 all skills slam on this, +1 all skills on this, and we're upgrading this as well to Sacred Armor to maximize our defense because we're playing Defiance Aura. This armor by itself with a +1 all skills gives +3 to all skills and comes with 3 sockets base. I chose to go with Burcham Burr in this armor because once again I wanted to max out on my PDR percentage. And at the same time, you need to get Canopy Frozen in this setup. Sham Ruin is the best way to get that, since a Corruption Slam for Canopy Frozen would be taking away from the plus skills potential, which is the main goal for the build. For the shield, Vortex Shield, Griswold's Honor, this also got buffed, Vortex Shields, in this last patch. From a defense perspective, I believe. +1 to all skills slam, ideal here. And obviously you get the +2 defensive auras, 2-set bonus, and +20 strength. 20 strength, not really as relevant here, but the we're looking for mainly just defensive auras. You ideally want to stock this with resistance and a Shale Ruin for faster block rate. Occultist, you want to get either chance to block or faster block rate on boots and gloves in either combination. Faster block rate with a Shale Ruin in the shield gives you a 1-frame block. That is extremely powerful. Paladin is the only class in the game that can achieve this breakpoint. Block rate is 95. It doesn't show the breakpoint breakdown here, unfortunately, but 1 frame was the goal, so we achieved that. 2 skill rings. Ideally, one was going to be a BK, and the other one was going to be a Wisp. BK gives more life than SOJ, and mana is an issue when you have Redemption that you can easily swap to and instantly fill your mana bar. Corruptions, not that important to be honest on these things, but you know, you can go for all kinds of things. You don't need the FCR necessarily. You can go for pretty much any corruption. I just chose to go with stats because that's what I had on at the time, and it just equates to more life in the end. Arachnid Mesh, same thing. Really, the corruption ideally would probably be maximum resistances slam on this. +1 skills, pretty self-explanatory. And the FCR to hit the breakpoint. Once again, our FCR breakpoint is capped out at 125. One thing that I would like to improve on this build would be the next breakpoint, 48 fast rate recovery. But because I'm mainly an aura bot, my performance in actually doing damage in groups isn't the main objective. Wisp Projector, obviously, try to get maximum lightning absorb here, and your main focus of this is the +1 skills and the Heart of the Wolverine for the group. And then Tyranch, very underused boot, but I mean, obviously in this build it excels. 10% increased chance of blocking, that's just more raw dexterity stats, which translates into more health, is the slam that I chose. Try to get as close to 10-10 stats as you can, and yeah, I mean, it does the job. Unfortunately, it doesn't have a lot of run walk, so that's something you can try to focus on in small charms if you'd like, or to get in, if you were willing to sacrifice some more life on these grand charms, get some more run walk, because that is something you'll be lacking. You'll be charging and jousting around a lot anyways, so it shouldn't be much of a problem. And then on swap, obviously 3 Holy Shield, Call to Arms, and then just a Lilith's Wall to complement the plus skills package. Finally, let's just talk about possible gear swaps to the Merc. If for whatever reason people don't want the Zenith, or if you're lacking something like Infinity, you don't have Conviction or whatever, you can use an Infinity on swap instead of Zenith. You can use Purity for Prayer Aura, which is a new rune word for S10, or you could use Insight for Meditation. I'd recommend, if you already have Templars in the group as well, to have a pure PDR percentage, high PDR percentage swap, like a Shaft Stop or a Leviathan or something like that for your Merc to swap out a Templar's Might, and then put on a Ferocity helmet on the helm instead for the taunt proc, which is very, very powerful with Joust. So you can just Joust frontline, get a nice taunt proc, group everything up, stop things like Harpies from shooting their balls at you, and like range mobs like Chaos Knights from just constantly shooting and cursing. They will kind of conglomerate towards the Merc and group everything up for you, which is very nice. Shadow Dancers, you can choose not to use them if you don't like to, but if you look at my Merc, he's at 86 fast rate recovery, second fastest IAS frame breakpoint. I'm really, really happy with the setup. The Merc is a house. He hits extremely hard, and I mean, he's got almost, you know, 30k defense baseline. He's very, very strong. I'm not going to go ahead and do any counter gameplay, because essentially you're just following the group around, doing heals. You're going to be swapping between Redemption Aura, Defiance Aura, as well as Prayer, depending on the situation, Vigor to speed up your group. These are just my main hotkeys, these 4 auras. And then we have Holy Bolt, Charge, Fist of the Heavens, and that's primarily it. You can choose the hotkey Holy Nova, which is something I'd recommend as well for bad situations where the group gets tagged, whether it's like Kekistan Marketplace with like the fire towers or whatever. It's good to have that hotkeyed when you're not doing solo play, but since I was in single player right now at this point, I haven't been doing that. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this build highlight video. I'm going to post it on my YouTube, and if anybody wants to copy it, I highly recommend it. If you want to do some group play, it's really, really fun. I was able to do like 5-minute maps with C-Toke, a friend of mine from Hardcore Ladder. 5-minute map clears, and very smooth, no danger, and it's just a fun alternative build for you guys to consider for the future. Alright, thanks for watching, guys. Take care.